What's up, guys? It's Jade back here from Jade's Corner, and I know, crazy, right? First time seeing me back on camera in quite some time. In today's video, we're going to be leading up to Teen Wolf the movie. Finally, Teen Wolf the movie releases in less than 2 weeks, so we are nearly 2 weeks away from the film's release. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing your guys' responses that I asked you guys to give in the latest community tab post, which was the first Q&A sort of poll that I put out, which I asked you guys to give me all your final predictions on Scott McCall for Teen Wolf the movie. So I'm going to be going over all of them today. We have over like 30 responses to go through today, and I'm going to be giving you guys my take on all your predictions, as well as giving you guys sort of my own predictions towards the end. So if you guys are ready for all of that, make sure you guys stick around for the rest of the video. And with that all said, let's hop right into the Q&A. So to get started with the Q&A, of course, the first official question that we have that we're going to answer today is from Mary Louise. And she says, I just have this inkling it'll emphasize why he does deserve the Alpha title, not just in strength, but in the way he persuades everyone and unites them together in a fight. It's a pretty good theory. I think that this film, in my opinion, will emphasize the fact that Scott is that dude, even though we know from the start of the film he's going to kind of be living as a human. I think the film is going to just reestablish why Scott was destined to be the true Alpha in the first place, quote unquote true Alpha. Y'all, I have my opinion on that. You guys know that very, very well. But I think that it's just going to emphasize why Scott has always been that leader type of character very perfectly. So yeah, cool question. That's question number one, or really prediction number one. Next is from Jumpman, who is a longtime subscriber of the channel. So shout out to Jumpman. He says, I feel like Scott would be in the position where he has to kill, and I feel like eventually he will. I also think he will be a lot stronger by the looks of the trailer. And I agree with you. I think Scott is going to be a lot stronger in this film, because in the movie, we see Scott take on an entire group of Oni by himself, which is badass, because in the series, we all know he was not even close to capable of doing that, at least during the events of season 3, part 2. Next prediction is from BLA. He says, I think he's going to either lose his Alpha spark by healing someone and regain it, or be pushed to the edge in a life or death situation and get his own true Alpha form. But either way, if he loses the spark, he will somehow get it back and evolve. I don't think so. My friend Hoax Productions, also goes by Hoax Talks Now mainly. He did a Q&A video recently on his channel where somebody kind of brought up the whole evolve thing with Scott too. In my opinion, I'm gonna have to agree with Hoax on this one. I don't think Scott's gonna evolve in this movie. Now, we do know for a fact that MGM and Paramount do have an idea to do a Teen Wolf movie trilogy rather than revive the series. So if the first film is successful, they're going to greenlight the other 2 sequels. We are going to get Teen Wolf the movie 2 and Teen Wolf the movie 3. So if the first movie is successful, we'll have Teen Wolf be relevant and be a big thing at least for the next like 4 to 5 years, 6 years maybe tops. So yeah, I think probably like a sequel or something. I do think we can get Scott evolving, but in the first film, I think it's just going to be him kind of getting back into the world of Teen Wolf and reintegrating himself as the Alpha, which is kind of ironic because we're getting reintegrated into the world of Teen Wolf ourselves. Of course, with Teen Wolf being not a thing for the last nearly 6 years. So yeah, it's going to be cool to see that. But I do think he'll evolve in one of the sequels. At least that's what I would do if I was Jeff. So next prediction comes from Chandler BT. He says, do you think we'll see a full display of Scott's power? And I just answered this in a previous prediction. Yes, I do think we'll see Scott finally be that dude, because that was one of the biggest complaints of the original series for years. The fact that they kind of hyped up the whole true Alpha thing and Scott never really lived up to it, which in my opinion, I don't think he really did either. But I do think in the film, from what we see, Scott will at least start to live up to that true Alpha name and be the Alpha we've all been waiting and wanting him to see for a very long time. So yeah, I do think we'll get to see Scott's full power displayed. Next is from Dalton Phillips. He says, I think it's going to come down to a situation of his friends being slaughtered by the Oni, or Scott having to give up that true alpha spark and kill the once love of his life to protect Beacon Hills from another dangerous catastrophe, maybe resulting in a transformation like he did when he almost killed that SWAT member, leading to a Peter-like transformation, which in my opinion, by the way, that's really, really cool. I like this theory a lot. Posey, the actor himself, when asked about what he wants done in the movie, he responded with, I want Scott to be down a dark path, shaved head, full of tattoos, a powerful, different version of Scott, unlike the one in the show. So I don't know if that's an actual quote from Posey himself. I have to do my own personal research on that. I think the quote he's bringing up is from San Diego Comic-Con last year. I know there was a lot of stuff with Scott that they asked Posey there, and he revealed a lot there by itself before the teaser trailer was even out. So yeah, it could be from San Diego Comic-Con. I don't remember that being mentioned explicitly by him while I was at the New York Comic-Con panel. So yeah, but that's pretty cool. This is probably my favorite prediction so far. I really like this. The only thing I don't like is the whole Allison being killed thing again. I'm kind of mixed on that, because I would rather you not kill her off again. She should have never been killed in the first place, and I think it was a stupid decision on Jeff Davis's end. He could have written her off in a much better way, but everything else here, pretty badass. Probably one of the best predictions, if not the best one I've seen so far, in my personal opinion. So next is from Sun Goku. He says, I just want to see Scott show how strong he's gotten within a 10-year time skip, and he needs to get back with Malia. That's all I care about, those two things. So to address the first point, like I mentioned before, Scott is definitely going to be stronger than he ever was in the TV show. That much is very apparent by the trailer. Two, you might as well get over the whole Scalia thing now. Scalia wasn't really popular in the first place. I mean, it kind of was later on, but at first, a lot of fans weren't that big of a fan of Scalia. In my opinion, at least from what I've seen of the fandom over the last 6 years since it's been a thing. But we clearly see in the trailer that Malia has moved on from Scott. She's not with Scott in this film. They're still friends, of course, but they're not together. Scalia is over. She's with Parrish now, unfortunately. So yeah, seems like they're setting up if the trailers and the overall marketing of the film has been anything to lead on, they're setting up Scott to start over the whole Scallison thing, which I'm all for. So Pulla Boy says, do you think Scott will be more ruthless? Do you think he had any other interactions with any other werewolves in LA? And do you think he will have better strength feats in the movie? How do you see him and Jackson's interactions going? Okay, so to answer the first part of your question, I do think we'll see a more ruthless Scott, without question, since Tyler Posey already said he wanted a darker Scott McCall. Darker meaning Scott's probably a lot more ruthless now, and something probably happened with the whole Monroe thing, because as we know from Jeff Davis himself, he said this at San Diego Comic-Con last July, that we will find out what happened to Monroe and her army after the events of the series. So yeah, Monroe is going to be mentioned at some point throughout the film, and we're going to find out what happened after the series finale. Number two, do you think he's had any altercation or any, oh my God, I can't talk. My apologies. Do you think he's had any other interactions with any other werewolves in LA? I think he has. We already kind of saw that at the end of the series, that he's had other interactions with other werewolves with that kind of Omega. He saw Alec that he integrated into his pack to help him build strength for his army against Monroe. So I do think Scott's definitely met other werewolves in Los Angeles. Do you think he will have better strength feats in this movie? I mean, if the trailer doesn't already showcase this, then I don't know what to tell you. Yes, he will definitely have way better strength feats. That much is very much true. How do you see him and Jackson's interactions going? So they kind of explained this at New York Comic-Con, that Jackson and Scott still have that kind of rivalry-like relationship, but it's nothing like it was in season 1 and 2. Obviously, they're allies now, and they're a lot more friendly now than they were when they were teenagers. So Scott and Jackson are pretty much friends now, but they still sort of have that old bickering rivalry they've had in season 1 and 2. It's just progressed in a much more positive light than it was all the way back in the day. So yeah, Hoax Talks, shout out to my friend Hoax. If he's watching this video, shout out to you. He was the person I mentioned before that's a YouTube friend of mine, and also another Teen Wolf content creator who just recently passed 1,000 subscribers after getting his old channel deleted after getting mass reported. So shout out to Hoax for this question. He says, if given a chance to be any supernatural creature in Teen Wolf, what would it be? In my opinion, I've already made this known since somebody already asked me this question previously. I think it was like last year, 2021. I said, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be a Lowenmensch, because just like the power potential that creature has from all the stuff they set up in season 6 part 1 is just ridiculous. Like the fact, like the most disgusting part is the fact that I would probably have to eat pineal glands from people's brains in order to in order to keep myself sustained and gain other powers. But once you have those other powers though, it's pretty much a wrap. So yeah, probably be a Lowenmensch. From Youngblood Gospel Bands, he says he will kill someone for the first time. I already said this before during another prediction. I think he will too, or at least they'll mention he has done it before off screen. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the Scott McCall final predictions Q&A. I'm gonna give my final predictions right now, and then we're gonna end off this video. So my predictions for Scott in this movie is that Scott will be an absolute Giga Chad. Scott will show some of the best feats he's ever shown throughout the entire franchise. I think Scott will have killed someone already, or he's going to be forced to kill for the first time. I think Scott will be dark. I think he will be a far cry from the character we last saw him as, sort of like personality wise, in Teen Wolf season 6. And I think that Scott will have to sacrifice something by the end of this movie, whether it be one of his pack mates or something else. I do not think it's going to be Allison, because I think killing Allison again is a stupid idea in my opinion. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's going to do it for my final predictions, and of course your guys' final predictions for Scott. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys leave a like. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and when you do, hit that bell icon and set your notifications to all so that you never miss a future video from me. There's been a thing recently where all my channel stats have been down like ridiculously. Like they're the worst they've been since like December 2021, like January 2022. Like it's really, really bad for the channel right now. And I did a community tab post where I asked you guys, do you guys get notified when my videos drop? Because all my views just fell off a cliff after the Teen Wolf the movie official trailer came out like a month ago. And a lot of you guys said yes. Quite a few of you guys said no. A lot of you guys say that YouTube pushes my community tab post out to you guys way more than it does my actual videos. So I think it's more of an issue on YouTube's end. It's kind of weird. I need YouTube to fix that issue, because they're kind of messing with my channel a little bit and my channel views, and it's messing up all my stats. Like my revenue's low, channel views are low, subscribers are even low. So yeah, I'm just trying to get all my stats back up to what they were a month ago as quickly as I can, and by any means necessary, pretty much. But with that all said, make sure you guys enjoy the rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. I'm Jade. I'll catch you guys in the next Teen Wolf the movie predictions video. The second Q&A should be out right now. It's going to be about Allison Argent and all your guys' final predictions on that. I will drop that video tomorrow. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.